Hey! Dude, I am so filling your suit with snow. Are you still wearing your suit?
Yeah, just in case.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things to remember before playing Marvel's Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
So, should we kiss now? Yeah, maybe later.
Mary Jane Watson, Associate Editor.
Congrats!
Thank you.
I knew you could do it.
For this video, we'll be looking at important plot details from Marvel's Spider-Man and the City That Never Sleeps in preparation for this continuation centered on Miles Morales. In case you haven't experienced the original game or its DLC yet, keep in mind that this list is one big spoiler. Are you eager to save the day as Miles Morales? Let us know down in the comments. Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Black Cat is still on the prowl.
Yeah, I am gonna have to call you right back.
Why? What's going on? You look good.
Black Cat, aka Felicia Hardy, had a fairly minor role in the main game, although it's hinted that the Master Thief is working on something huge. We find out exactly what Felicia's up to in the DLC, where she has a much more prominent role. After tricking Spider-Man into helping her steal some data drives from Hammerhead, Felicia is seemingly blown to bits. Fortunately, cats have 9 lives. Felicia returns the favor by saving Spidey's life and giving him a drive integral to taking down Hammerhead. Despite coming through for him, Peter may be less likely to trust Felicia next time. If she ever crossed paths with Miles, however, we think Felicia could end up deceiving him with her charms.
Not as strong as you think it is.
Silver Sable on Spidey's side. Although Spidey and Silver Sable Nova clash a few times over the course of the main game, our hero helps the mercenary to see the error of her ways. When they reunite in the DLC, the two are no longer enemies. Sable even turns to Spidey to help her recover stolen tech that's fallen into Hammerhead's hands. The two make a great team and ultimately succeed in thwarting the villain. When we last see Sable, she's on her way back to Symkaria to do more good for her country. That said, Sable might be too busy to lend Miles Morales a hand. If there's still some Sable tech left in New York, however, we could potentially see Miles interact with the Monarch of Symkaria.
That was awesome!
Peter and MJ are endgame.
MJ? What are you doing here?
Same as you. Working. At least, I was.
Unlike some other adaptations, the first game did right by Mary Jane Watson. This incarnation of the character is a strong-willed, quick-witted reporter who doesn't always need Spider-Man to save her. On the contrary, she frequently assists him.
Right. Okay, you hide back there. I take out the bad guys. You make a break when it's clear.
Sounds like a plan.
MJ also already knows Spidey's secret identity, and although his overprotective nature took a toll on their romantic relationship, the two finally rekindle their love in the end. Even in the DLC, when Black Cat deceives Spidey into thinking that they have a son together, MJ is prepared to make things work. Since she already has Peter's back, could MJ use her resources to help Miles in this game?
Mary Jane Watson, Associate Editor.
Congrats!
Thank you.
I knew you could do it.
Miles' mother.
Last time I gave a speech, I was in high school. Miss Steinberg gave me a C-.
Well, if only Miss Steinberg could see you now.
Although she didn't get a ton of screen time, Rio Morales still managed to stand out in the first game. Rio loves her family almost as much as she loves science, a trait she shares in common with her son. When there's a crisis, Rio isn't one to sit back and wait for Spider-Man to save the day.
Can you hear me, baby?
Can you hear me? Here. Squeeze my hand if you can hear me.
Stay here. I'm going to find your father.
This is demonstrated when an explosion goes off at an award ceremony and she rushes into the fiery wreckage to locate her husband. Even in the wake of the tragedy, Rio remains strong for Miles. She also plays a role in passing out the Devil's Breath antidote. Rio could have a more substantial part in this game, which will see her run for city council as war breaks out.
So what do you think about Rio Morales? You gonna vote for her?
It's still hard to think of Mom as a politician.
Where are all the villains?
Pick on someone your own size, Rhino.
There is no one my size, Hulk.
Based on what we know so far, this new game will find Miles caught between the Roxxon Energy Corporation and the Tinkerer's underground army. Could a few other familiar villains pop up though?
Need a lift! So refreshing to work for a man like Octavius!
Last we saw Wilson Fisk, he was running his business from a prison cell. In something of a boss fight marathon, Spidey defeated Electro, Vulture, Rhino, Scorpion, and Mr. Negative, all one after another. As a grand finale, Peter faced off with his old mentor Otto Octavius, who lost his mind, body, and freedom. Doc Ock still knows who Peter really is, which spells trouble for Spidey and his allies. Even if the Sinister Six don't reassemble in this game, we probably haven't seen the last of them.
So, should we kiss now? Yeah, maybe later.
Yuriko Watanabe MIA.
And you called me? Aw, that's sweet.
I called someone I could trust.
Spider-Man hasn't always gotten along with the cops, but Police Captain Yuriko Watanabe serves as his eyes and ears throughout the first game. If you skip the DLC, you missed out on a crucial chapter in Yuri's character arc. After losing several fellow officers, Yuri goes down a dark path that gets her on administrative leave. With or without a badge, she becomes hellbent on bringing down Hammerhead and the Magia. This culminates with Yuri taking the life of a Magia enforcer, which she sees as justice. Refusing to surrender herself, Yuri hangs up on Spider-Man, leaving their partnership in shambles. This could be setting the stage for Yuri to become Wraith in future games, but will she return in this one?
The system works most of the time, but there are times when it doesn't. And to me, that's unacceptable.
Miles' father.
Gadget man, huh? You remind me of my son. Started taking apart the TV when he was 5.
The first game wasn't afraid to kill off a couple of major characters. Succumbing to her infection, Aunt May passes away, but not before revealing that she knows about Peter's double life.
I've known for a while.
I never wanted you to worry.
I did. And I am so proud of you.
The death that plays the greatest role in Miles' journey is his father's. Jefferson Davis was among New York's finest, saving Spider-Man's life and receiving a medal for his bravery. Unfortunately, the award ceremony is attacked by the inner demons, and Jefferson sacrifices himself to protect his city. Just as Uncle Ben led Peter down a heroic path, Jefferson's untimely death encourages Miles to do what's right. Of course, Peter also helps Miles to stay on the noble path to heroism. Jefferson may be gone, but he won't be forgotten anytime soon.
Okay, I can take it.
Oh, sorry.
No. It's all good. You keep that up and you'll be fine.
Norman and Harry Osborn.
Peter Parker, how the hell are you?
Speak of the devil.
Norman Osborn plays a fundamental role in the first game, being the mayor of New York. He's partially responsible for Octavius' psychotic break and the Devil's Breath outbreak that ensues. After a disgraced Norman resigns, it's revealed that he's been keeping his son Harry in a secret lab.
We were so close.
Originally thought to have been abroad, Harry has inherited the same illness that took his mother's life. Devil's Breath couldn't save Emily Osborn, and it can't save Harry either. We last see Norman visiting Harry, who is in a tank full of green liquid and a mysterious black entity. It's strongly indicated that the Green Goblin and possibly Venom are coming. The question is if they'll appear in Miles Morales, or will Insomniac save them for another game?
Sounds urgent, sir. Fine. Congratulations, sir.
Spider-Men.
Do you know anyone by the name of Martin Lee?
Wow, that was too easy.
Even before he gets bitten by genetically modified Spider, Miles proves himself to be smart, resourceful, and willing to face certain danger. A majority of Miles' missions put an emphasis on stealth, although we can expect something more combat-oriented going forward now that he has superhuman powers.
Well, you're at that age where your body starts to change, and so you may be noticing some areas, for example.
Not that.
Towards the first game's conclusion, Miles shows off his newfound wall-crawling abilities to Peter, unaware that he's talking to the original webhead. Since Miles has more than proven himself, Peter doesn't hesitate to show Miles that he's not alone. New York now has 2 friendly neighborhood Spider-Men.
Not that weird.
Peter training Miles.
I took a look at those web shooters in your bag. Are those for me?
Yes, but only when you're ready. What were you doing in my bag?
While Miles isn't a playable character in the city that never sleeps, he does stay in close contact with Peter. It takes some persuading, but Peter is eventually convinced to train Miles. Being Spider-Man isn't all web bombs and spider drones. Peter teaches Miles that math and science are also essential tools. Miles gets off to a rocky start, breaking his toe while testing his abilities.
No, I'm totally fine. Well, I broke a toe. Did you know that there's nothing that they can do for that? They just kind of wish you luck.
When all is said and done, however, Peter feels that Miles is ready for some web shooters of his own. As of now, it's unclear how prominently Peter will be featured in the Miles Morales game, which takes place about a year later. Judging from early footage though, we think Miles is ready to fly solo.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.